Hello, everyone. Smothered Run here. And a couple weeks ago, Sega and Creative Assembly put out the Shogun Total War Shogun 2 for Keep for Free event out on Steam. They did that a few weeks ago, and I already had it. And seeing those ads pop up in my Steam library about it, I decided, hey, I'll give it a shot again. So after about 5-6 years away from it, got back into it, started a campaign, did a couple online battles, and here are some of the battles I've done. This was the one I'm about to do right now, was probably second or third of the day, and this ended up being a team battle. And oh boy, it was an interesting welcome back for sure. So just sort of pause and take a look at it. This map is probably my second favorite map, and I can't even remember the name of it. So for those of you that aren't familiar with it, then some of this will be new, or sorry, won't be new. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Total War, well, I played the original Shogun Total War at the start of the franchise, and haven't played any others. Played Shogun 2 for years on potato computers, and my current potato computer runs this one really well, and it really holds up after its release almost 10 years ago. So let's sort of talk about what I'm doing. I'm in a team battle, playing alongside someone named, we'll just call you I Carry. I have no idea. And I'm playing up against two guys again, one named Ragnar and one named Edon Kilomantis, I believe. So I'm not going to get into too many technical details, but basically I'm going up with, this is a large battle, and definitely prefer the medium battles when I start back into it compared to the large battles. But anyways, I've got three bow samurai and an elite Deku, which is basically super awesome bow samurai, expensive. And then one, two, three, nope, three, four, no, four, five, six, I believe. Six katana samurai and three nodachis. I misuse my nodachis totally, forget that I have them, and don't use them as effectively as I should. And then my general, who's a bow general for the time being, and I end up changing it later, redoing them to a different one. Then I've got one, two, three, four Yari samurai, who in this battle end up being my heroes, and then two Yari cavalry. You'll notice too that I have mostly veterans. I think I only have my nodachis, and a couple katanas are fresh units, and then a couple bows. Everyone else is at least a level 3 veteran. I've got a few level 5s, and it really turns out to be the difference maker. My opponent is basically all. Well, I'm not sure what his core is, but he has no missile units other than his general, who's also a bow general. This was a different army, and it seems like there's a lot, back from when I used to play online, it seems like there's a lot of spamming of a particular type of unit. I mean, I have a katana core, so I guess it's technically katana spam, but I try to keep it as balanced as possible so that I can react to different threats, sometimes better than others. But he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cavalry units, either light cavalry or Yari cavalry. Difference being light cavalry has fewer units, not as good in melee combat, and slightly weaker charge compared to a Yari cavalry, which has more of everything. I think Yari cavalry are one of my favorite units, and then his bow general. So he's got 8 units of cavalry, 4 units of Yari Ashigaru, which are basically spear-holding peasants, a couple katana samurai, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But they're all fresh, at least from what I can tell. They're all, because you can't name fresh units. You can only name, like, give units, like mine here. You can only give them names if they're veterans. So, anyways, my general's at level 5 at this point. So yeah, here we go. Yeah, we have capturable buildings. So over here we have a sword dojo, which I'm gonna need. A farmhouse, which is good. If I have a choice, I'm always gonna go sword dojo, shrine, or this one, which I think is one of the best, if not the best, building to capture in the game, in the online game, anyways, because this gives you staying power. I could, if we were on different sides of the map, I could literally go for that and leave the sword dojo and probably still win. So, my ally, what does he have? He's a missile corps. He's got 1, 2, he or she, I'm not sure, but they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bow samurai, and so quality units. My ally brought quite a few quality units. We got 1, 2, 3. Oh, 2. We got some two Naginata attendants, which I have mixed feelings about. 2 Yari Ashigaru, and then he's got 1, 2 lone swords, another Yari Ashigaru, another Yari Ashigaru, another lone sword. So lone swords are basically katana holding peasants. And he's got quite a decent. He's got 3 cavalry, which they're not bad. I mean, they're a little small for my taste, but the mounted Naginata aren't bad. If used properly, I think they can be a fantastic unit. And he's going up against another missile corps, but he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like a few veterans. My ally doesn't have any veterans, and he's got a couple veteran Yari Ashigaru. He's got some Nodachis, sword attendants, which are it's all from Rise of the Samurai. He's got some warrior nuns, 2 of those, and then he's showing, I think, among the most dangerous cavalry in the game is the warrior monk cavalry, because they're monks and they don't rout. So it takes a lot to rout them. They can be down to like 5 guys in some cases, and they still will stand and fight. But fortunately, they don't have a lot of ammo or armor, so weak to arrows and weak in melee. So, anyways, let's go. I figure I need the sword dojo, and at this point, I haven't looked at what my opponent has, so I figure I'm going right for the dojo first. I don't normally like to camp, so, and especially the army I have, with him having no it's about now I figure out what he has and see him going this long train of horses towards the sword dojo, so I go, well, I'm not getting that. So, I could have gone for the ridge and just stood on a hill and played King of the Hill with him, but I decided, nope, I'm going to try to. He's got the cavalry advantage, but I'm going to try to force his hand. Both of these guys I was playing against were lower ranked generals, but based on the fact that you can have more than one avatar, more than one general, in your save or in your profile, you can come across a guy who's had, I guess feasibly 2,000 hours experience in the game and just decided to start a new general. So the level of the general to me doesn't mean much. They could be a fantastic player with a brand new general, really. So I figure with my 4 spears, he could probably overwhelm me if he coordinates his attack properly. And I think probably his really big mistake was not dismounting one of his cavalry to have them capture the building. You can't capture a building with cavalry. You have to dismount them or use infantry to just stand in this yellow circle here. And he did not. Yeah, no. So he's moving his cavalry, and I figure, oh crap, he's coming right at me. So now this is why I like the Daiku. They're expensive, but they have a long range, almost as long as a bow monk, as the bow warrior monks. And I mean, not all of them are firing right now. Speaking of, one thing I see a lot when I play online, or even when I play against the PC, is people not using their missile units effectively, or many units effectively, in particular missile units, so bows and matchlocks, and in some cases gunners. Sometimes they spread them out like this, and sometimes they spread them out like this. This is a little bit more effective. I usually go 2 ranks, he's going 4. I go 2 ranks because that means wherever the firing arc is of a unit, when you click on a bow unit or any sort of a ranged unit, it will give you a firing arc as to where these units will shoot. And the fewer ranks deep you have, the longer the firing arc is. So I don't want to use half my missiles, and that's, I think he's got all Ashigaru. Bow Ashigaru, so Ashigaru. He does have the unit advantage in missiles, but he doesn't have the quality advantage. Samurai are hands down better than Ashigaru. They are more expensive, but they can handle themselves in melee combat a little better, as you'll see. But they also just have better accuracy, better stats. Fewer numbers, but better stats. So they will, I think, in a one-on-one, 2 equally balanced units, the samurai will always win. So yeah, it's basically a camp fight over here. They're both going to get to within range of their bows and pick at each other for a while, try to skirmish. I figure my usual strategy is I'm going to give you my bows. I'm going to leave them out in the open. I'm going to shoot at you, as I'm doing now, until you come at me. Especially in a situation like this, where I know he's got no ranged units, I will just shoot. And in this case, I don't even put them in skirmish mode so that they will hold their ground. And even if they get run into, if you leave them in skirmish mode, they will shoot and then run back. But in this case, I'm going, nope, I don't want my guys to run. So my bows have been shooting at him probably about 7 or 8 volleys so far. This one's down basically a quarter. This one's down only a few. This one's down, getting, just over a third. So he sends 4 of them at me, and I love light cavalry almost as much as I love Yari cavalry, but doesn't space them out. He's got them all tightly bunched together. He does have them spread out, which is the best way, I think, to attack with cavalry, because it'll spread the charge over the whole unit, plus it'll tie them down. So in this case, he's trying to keep my bows from shooting, which is a good plan. But now I'm bringing out my spears, and I don't know if he didn't notice them, but he ran right into my spears. I lost 2 guys on the charge, and he lost 9 in that one. This one has lost 5 before he gets there, and They meet, and he's lost another 5 in that. This one actually does a really good job. He hits my Yaris, they're out of position, and he hits them in the flank, so he actually takes, my Yari takes quite a few hits, more than he normally would, but not for long. I've already routed one. There goes the other one. Shattered, shattered, and shattered. So at this point too, I'm busy looking around, trying to figure out what's going on, what I'm gonna do next. Checking on my ally, noticing they're just basically camping and throwing arrows at each other. So I lost track of my spears, and they end up going for a little walk farther than they should. And for some reason, I've got a katana coming out. I had ordered them up to once the cavalry had stopped and hit my line, I let them just jump in and help them and engage the cavalry that was pinned down. So now my bows took a charge. They only lost 2 men. My elite Daiku took a charge from cavalry, got hit, and only lost 2 men. So everybody's still at full strength, so I'm going, well, I still have the bow advantage. Come get me. So here he sends one out. These guys, I notice, of course, my katanas end up taking the charge and only lose a few men in the charge because they're a level 5 against a fresh set of light cavalry. And I've done some armor bonuses to them. Bring my spears back. And I make a mistake here. I start moving up and lose track of where my units are going. I've detached my spears from the control group, but I go and move these guys up, and I just lose track of them completely. And he ends up getting a pretty good hit into my bows with a few of his, some of his cavalry and his infantry. Yeah, he's about to overwhelm my spears. I just shattered his second last cavalry. Here come some Ashigaru and some katanas fresh into my Yaris. And here I lose track. They're all still moving. He sends, what's that, a fresh katana samurai into my bows. And they're doing pretty well. My Daiku have only lost a few. They're in melee combat. Sending up a group of katanas that I've had in reserve. I usually like to keep one or two units back as reserve, depending on the size of the battle, and now his samurai are going to eat it. I mean, I've lost half. Another set of bows just ends up getting in melee, but, well, that's my Nodachis, but I didn't charge them. Yeah, I didn't use my Nodachis properly. I didn't bonsai a single unit. They have a neat ability to bonsai charge, which makes them unbreakable. And yeah, so these guys, they don't have strong armor, but fortunately he's starting to rout. I've started to shatter or rout basically all of his guys. He's got just his general left. So this is going to get cleaned up really quick. And all the while, I still haven't moved my cavalry. They've sat there the entire time. After that initial move to this hill, they haven't moved. I haven't needed them. As soon as I could have used them, but I think this is my second or third battle of the day, and my micromanaging ability was quite rusty. So yeah, yeah, ended up losing. So basically, this battle's pretty much over. I have a few units that go chasing off and go for a walk. I've got 3 units of katanas that just go for a walk to the far end of the map for no reason. This general's just getting hammered by bows right now. He's only lost 2 men. Generals can be pretty tough, but not for long. He's about to get engaged by a bunch of Yaris who, again, right there. And now he's losing. So he's done. At this point here, he's decided to move his guys up. He's still camping. Always curious about what happened. Because my ally got decimated. So you hear that charge. There's the warrior nuns. I've never faced them. A small unit. And he ends just losing these warrior nuns. They're impressive. Almost as scary as bows. Now, Kilamatis, the other enemy, he's gone and used his cavalry pretty well. For the longest time, his general was way in the back, and I don't know why. He's got Ashigaru. I think he lost track of his units. If he'd pressed his units right, if he'd used his units properly, he probably may not have won against this purple guy, but he might have at least taken a few more guys down. But I don't think he used his missile advantage to greatest effect. I think he still did have a missile advantage. So okay. So at this point, you know, I've got my three guys walking off to the edge of the map for no reason. Decide, well, my partner here is just getting his ass handed to him. And it looks like he's still got quite a few bows here. In fact, I think he's got almost all of his units of bows. So I need to get there as fast as I can. And again, like, yeah, he just took a charge from some sword attendants. And he's getting... Ashigaru aren't the great... I decide I'm going to go try to help. He's got cavalry pinned down here, and these sword attendants, which won't do well in a charge, but I don't line up as well as I should. Fortunately, we break the attendants. For the moment, yeah, we shatter the cavalry, and then I lose track of them again. And then he sends his warrior nuns into my cavalry, and didn't lose many in the charge, but melee combat, all of a sudden, Yari cavalry doesn't do well standing and fighting in melee, and I'm hoping he gets his spears to help me, but nope. I pull back, lose more because my guys are retreating. I'm pulling them back, so they lose quite a few. I think I'm down to... So my cavalry, I never really had a cavalry advantage, but my cavalry is now effectively halved. And just want to try to get a look at these. Let's zoom right in here. Watch these nuns. I've never seen them warrior nuns. All I'm doing is just moving up anyways, so... So, 75 warrior nuns just took on almost 300 Ashigaru, like 2 units of Ashigaru. And a unit of Ashigaru and a unit of attendants, so 225, 250. And kicked ass. That's insane. Plus he's got that warrior monk cavalry that's only down to, what is he? Stop moving. He's down to half strength almost. So my cavalry is pretty much no longer a factor. Might be used for cleanup, so I'm going, well, I better try to... At least we've captured 2 of the 3 buildings. I'm sort of pulling back and trying to organize. His general... I'm not sure if my ally Alt F4s or concedes defeat, like just exits the battle. But yeah, here I'm going. I'm using my bows as bait and a few units, but now his cavalry. I was hoping. I think what I was hoping here was that his general would come in and try to engage these warrior monk cavalry, but he doesn't. So instead, off go my spears, my Yari samurai with their advance rapidly. Units half. These units are all doing well. So again, I'm not really doing a very good job getting myself organized. Only moving a few units at a time. I like this. I do manage to catch 3 of them and just, boop, just run right through them. Bye, monks.
My lord, our ally has fled, abandoning us to their
Yeah. So I'm not sure if that's him hitting Alt F4 or if that's him just exiting the battle because he's figures he's done. I'm not sure. Yeah. I forget completely about using my bows to back up my infantry, so they're just walking up eating arrows right now, and his bows are getting away scot-free. He's still got 1, 2, 3, 4 units of bows, plus his general. So a Nodachi samurai goes and engages 2 Nodachis go and engage my fresh katanas, and I've just shattered 1. These guys take a charge from some warrior monk cavalry and are fine. I love vets. Now his warrior monk cavalry is quickly going away because my bows are now slowly getting organized. I'm fighting an uphill battle, but I think that's my first unit. It's my first unit. Second unit that's routed, that's who cares? Probably. Not sure. Lost a few units, but I didn't care. He's still got 1 Yari Ashigaru still winning. And then just a massive chain rout.
My lord, a glorious victory will soon be yours.
I think I just killed his general. I'm not sure. I don't know how that happened, but where his general went, but I got him somehow. And that's the battle. So yeah, my partner got absolutely trounced, but in fairness, so did our 2 opponents. I mean, for my 3rd battle back and having lost 2 straight that day, 2nd or 3rd battle, and 3rd. I'd lost 2 straight. This was pretty nice. And my Yaris, 220 kills, lost 3/4 of the unit. 260 and lost half. That was one of my samurai, one of my katana samurai. Yeah, I was pretty happy in my Nodachis. These guys lost 1 and killed a whole unit. That's kick-ass. And they're only a level 3. These Nodachis did well too. They lost 2/3 of their unit and killed 143. I like that. It's good. This was a good one. So yeah, I hope you liked it, and see you next time.